A mother-in-law asks for a handmade scarf.
But she doesn't ask, she challenges.
And the daughter-in-law's response?
Let's just say it involves a knitting book.
And the Facebook meltdown.
You need to hear this.
Hi, welcome to Reddit's Jury, where we take controversial stories from the internet and put them on trial. I'm Ethan Morris.
And I'm Riley Wilson.
In this episode, we dive into a story from the Am I the Asshole subreddit.
A mother-in-law asks her daughter-in-law to make her something.
Seems innocent enough.
Except she doesn't ask. She issues a challenge.
Oh no. This is the knitting challenge that unraveled a family. This story comes from a woman, let's call her Sarah, who loves to knit. She makes things for herself and her husband, but she doesn't make things for other people.
Smart.
She says she doesn't have the heart to buy nice yarn, spend money on a pattern, put hours into making something just to watch it be treated like crap.
I already respect this woman.
So her mother-in-law, we'll call her Linda, approaches her and says, I have a challenge for you, if you're up to it.
Immediately no.
Linda shows her a picture on her phone of something called a Sophie scarf and says the challenge is to make one that matches a specific dress.
That's not a challenge. That's just a request.
That's exactly what Sarah said. She asked Linda, why are you framing this as a challenge when you're just asking me to knit something for you?
Right, like what's with the weird framing?
Linda doesn't have an answer. She just says if you're up to the challenge, you can give it a try.
Oh, so it's a trap.
Sarah talks to her husband about what to do. He says just flat out tell her no.
Listen to your husband.
But Sarah decides to meet her halfway. She asks Linda to send a picture of the dress, goes to the yarn store, gets yarn in a color she thinks would work, grabs needles from her own stash.
Okay, she's being nice.
And here's where it gets interesting. She also gets Linda a Learn to Knit book.
Oh no.
The next time she sees Linda, she gives her all the supplies and says, here's everything you need to make your Sophie scarf, except the pattern which you'll need to buy yourself.
I cannot believe she actually did that.
Linda looks at it and says in this pitying voice, oh, you couldn't figure it out?
Are you kidding me right now?
Sarah says, nope, I've made myself a few, but I thought it would be better for you to learn how to knit so you can challenge yourself.
Okay, that's pretty savage.
Linda just frowns and sets the yarn aside without saying anything else.
Passive-aggressive Olympics right there.
But then Linda goes to the husband and tells him that all she did was give a challenge, but Sarah hadn't even tried.
She literally bought her yarn.
The husband hears her out, but tells his mom it's ultimately up to his wife.
Good man.
And now here's a kicker. Sarah sees Linda posting on Facebook about how she doesn't get this generation, and why do we have to make everything so difficult?
The audacity.
I'm sorry, can we just acknowledge that Linda is complaining on Facebook about her generation not understanding things?
While simultaneously not understanding how to knit.
Right, like you literally just got handed the solution to your problem.
Learn to knit, Linda. Okay, my immediate reaction is that Linda is being manipulative.
Agreed, the challenge framing is designed to put Sarah in a no-win situation.
Exactly. If she says no, she's not up to the challenge. If she says yes, she's doing free labor.
It's a classic trap. But let's talk about Sarah's response.
I think it was genius.
Was it though? Or was it just escalating the passive aggression?
Well, what was she supposed to do?
Her husband told her exactly what to do. Just say no.
But she tried to be nice.
Did she though? Because buying someone a Learn to Knit book when they ask you to knit them something is not being nice. That's being petty.
Okay, maybe a little petty.
Here's the key question. Was Linda being manipulative with the challenge framing?
Absolutely yes.
And does that justify the passive-aggressive response?
I mean, kind of.
Let's think about what could have happened if Sarah had just said no. Linda might have been annoyed, but it would have been over.
But Linda framed it as a challenge specifically to make it hard to say no.
True, but Sarah's response actually made everything worse. Now there's Facebook posts, the husband is caught in the middle, and everyone's mad.
Fair point.
The pattern I'm noticing here is that both of them are avoiding direct communication.
What do you mean?
Linda won't just ask directly for what she wants. She has to make it a challenge. And Sarah won't just say no directly. She has to make this elaborate passive-aggressive move with the knitting book.
Oh, that's actually a really good point.
Can we also talk about the fact that Sarah went to the yarn store, picked out yarn, got needles, bought a book?
Right, like that's a whole mission.
That's more effort than just knitting the scarf.
Oh my God, you're right.
She spent more time and money on the passive-aggressive response than she would have just making the thing or saying no.
Okay, when you put it like that, it does seem a bit extra.
A bit?
Fine, very extra.
Here's another angle to consider. Sarah says she doesn't make things for other people because she doesn't want to watch them be treated like crap.
Which is totally valid.
Is it though, or is that just assuming the worst about people before they've done anything wrong?
I think she's protecting herself based on past experience.
Maybe, but it also feels like she's building walls instead of having conversations.
All right, my verdict, I'm giving Sarah a 2 out of 5 on the asshole scale. Yes, the response was petty and passive-aggressive, but Linda started it with that challenge nonsense. You don't get to manipulate people and then act surprised when they don't play along.
I'm going with a 3 out of 5. Linda's definitely problematic with the challenge framing, but Sarah's response made everything worse. This could have been a simple no, and instead it turned into a family drama with Facebook posts. That's the definition of making things more difficult than they need to be.
Fair point.
Let's see what the Reddit community had to say about this one.
Yeah, I want to hear their take.
The top comment is really interesting. It says, Sarah sounds exhausting. What could have been a simple no turned into analyzing the question with her husband, gathering information, buying supplies, a passive-aggressive suggestion, and Linda still being mad anyway.
Ouch.
That's actually a fair critique. Sarah turned a simple interaction into this whole production.
I mean, yeah, but Linda was being weird too.
Absolutely, and the comment addresses that. It says they think everyone sucks here because Linda made a request framed as a challenge, so she would have an excuse to ridicule Sarah for refusing.
See, that's what I was saying. Linda was setting a trap.
Both things can be true. Linda can be manipulative and Sarah can be exhausting.
I guess that's fair.
What's interesting is that the Reddit community seems split on this one. Some people think Sarah is brilliant for the knitting book move. Others think she just made everything worse.
Which honestly makes sense because this is a situation where nobody really handled it well.
Exactly. The real asshole here might be the lack of direct communication from everyone involved.
So where you land on this one? Is Sarah the asshole for the passive-aggressive knitting book?
Or is Linda the real problem with her challenge framing?
Drop your verdict in the comments below. Give us a number from 1 to 5.
Thanks for watching.